Welcome to Couch on Fire, the Dad Podcast. Dad's Cast. Two dads on a couch and everything's on fire. Oh my.
We really need to get an intro.
I was going for Takai that time. I thought it was funny.
No, it was good. It was good. It's just
my.
I think we should totally, get the missus to
Oh wow.
record something maybe for us.
Our missus is.
Yeah. That'd be interesting. Well, hi.
Our
How's
asshole
everyone today?
husbands are doing a podcast. Come check it out.
Okay. the new Couch on Fire presents the Asshole Husbands.
Yeah, that's our secondary channel in case YouTube kills our first one.
Yeah. At this rate, I'm sure they will.
They're gonna try. They
Dude,
always do.
So what's up? How's life? What's going on?
Working from home is simultaneously the best, and it's not even that boring. I can't even talk shit. I fucking love working from home. It's so goddamn ideal.
That is the dream.
Oh
to
my
work
god,
from home.
dude. And I'm doing data analysis and shit, so it's like right there where my wheelhouse is. It's just it's awesome. And I should have hit play. There we go. Timer's going.
The only thing that it would bug me working from home is I would rely on the internet, obviously. And if the internet fails, like what the fuck am I supposed to do? Travel to the office? like what am I?
I've got a hotspot that work gave me.
No. Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
never mind
So
then.
if my cable internet goes out, I've got internet.
That's awesome. Do they pay for your internet, or do you?
Yeah,
just
they pay for the hotspot. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, well, besides the hotspot, do they pay for your regular internet?
No. But I could write that off as a business expense at this point.
That is awesome. I keep getting these random phone calls from Hawaii phone numbers. It's weird.
I've been getting a lot of random phone calls recently. It's weird.
It's I'm pretty sure it's
Scammers.
the people from the volcano calling me.
Jesus.
They're calling me right now. They're trying to pull me back in. Anyway,
To the volcano.
yeah, to the volcano. So I actually I have a topic that I would like to talk about. This is
What you
something
got?
that a couple people that I work with that listen to the podcast, they definitely told me I should talk a little bit about the movies that are out, the movies that have been coming out lately, and the future of movies and things like that. And first of all, I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite movie of all time? If you had to pick one movie, what was your favorite movie of all time?
I got nothing for this. I have nothing. I do not
No.
have favorite movie.
No.
I have favorite genre of movie.
Well, what's that?
Philosophical adventure.
Damn. Okay.
Things where you see deep dives and a lot of like philosophical references,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still an adventure movie. Indiana Jones is a good example.
I was gonna say the Never Ending Story. You ever seen that movie?
That's another good one. That's a terrific example of that.
That is that's a fucked up movie. I remember rewatched that. That rest in peace, horse.
Yeah, fuck that swamp. Fuck everything about that swamp.
I see if someone would come up to me and say, "Hey Rob, what is your favorite movie of all time?" I can't I love movies, but how I rate my movies is how I rate music. And how I do that is certain periods of my life. Like, for example, in high school, I loved movies that were sports related. Like Remember the Titans and
The
just
Replacements.
the Replacements, stuff like that. Because I was around that. I was around the sports, and I was like, oh, sports, watching football and all this stuff. That was my time period. But then my time changed right after. And then right after high school, I love like horror movies, gore. Like I just wanted to watch French horror movies where the best. I love
Oh,
them.
they're hilariously awesome.
And so that's like music. That's the same with music for me. Like I feel like in high school I had a certain type of music that I listened to, the emo depressing music. And then after that I started getting into, more, harder stuff. And then after that I started listening to rap. And then it's just different periods of your life. So I don't have a favorite movie of all time. I have like a top 5 or maybe a top 10 that I could watch constantly over and over again. But I agree with you. It's really hard to narrow down what a favorite movie is. So yeah, that's something I agree with you 100% on that one.
Yeah, yeah. Have you seen Deadpool 2 yet?
I have not seen Deadpool 2.
I'm trying to see it this weekend. Gotta get a sitter.
So I'm going to tell you something. I don't want you to get upset.
Na, 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 na. What you got?
I love spoilers.
So do I.
I will sit down, and if I'm like, okay, well, I know I'm probably going to see this movie eventually, but like Avengers, I watch so many spoilers, so many videos on YouTube, so many videos on other websites about what happened. So when I went in, I kind of already knew everything. Now, with that said, there's only one TV show. It's a TV show, Game of Thrones. I never watched any spoilers, and it shocked the shit out of me when I watched that show.
The book had been around for years, Rob.
I know, but like I don't.
Not the books, I should say,
Yeah.
but still.
But that show that crazy me. But anyway, I love spoilers.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
I'm right there with you. I'm there for the journey. When I get a new book, I'll flip to the last couple pages, like read the last 2 or 3 pages, and then go back and actually start the book to find out what happened. Like
Really?
what led to that event. Yeah, I don't know why. I've always done this. Like I want to know. I want to know how it resolves, or if it's ending on a cliffhanger or something. So I go ahead and nuke that. So I can't be like, I ruin it for myself, and then go through the journey itself, because I enjoy the journey more rather than the resolution. So being told the ending to something isn't a big deal to me. And I still get a lot out of whatever it is. So spoilers have never bothered me. I get yelled at online for that all the time, because I make fun of people who are like, spoilers. Like, no. So first of all, like, I'm going to say what I'm going to say. You can listen or not listen.
Yeah.
And if I'm having a conversation with this person over here who has seen it, it's your responsibility to guard yourself against any potential spoiler there.
This is true. So you're telling me, so Quentin Tarantino likes to do these things where he shows the ending of the movie and he's like, let's go back.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
and
the 3 days earlier kind of thing.
yeah, and then let's show how we got there. That's interesting. That's crazy
It
that
makes
you
it
do that.
about the journey rather than the resolution. Like Pulp Fiction is hailed as one of the greatest films of all time because it forces it to be about the journey and
Yeah.
about the character development, because it's not even in chronological order. It's just split up chapters that are kind of all over the timeline.
So but did you ever think that like you're missing out though? Like you're reading the journey, but don't you want to just like, I don't know. I mean, I like spoilers, but I feel like that would just ruin everything.
A lot of
for
better
me.
surprises occur in the center of books.
Yeah, I haven't read a
I
book in a while.
I spoiled myself on Infinity War.
Okay.
And that was the one time I was like, maybe I should not have done that. That one time. However, I'm glad I did, because I was braced for that impact. I was still going through the journey and enjoying it.
Yeah.
But I had the ability to have the conversation with Ari, my wife-to-be, about whether or not we should take our 6-year-old son. And the answer was, yes, we're still taking him. Duh. And, oh yeah, we took him.
But that scene with Spider-Man will rip the heart out of people.
Ari had more of an issue than Marco did.
Really?
Marco just shrugged it off like, okay, Pete's dead. My favorite Marvel character, gone.
Gone. Damn.
We already brought up the concept of spoilers.
Yeah, I mean,
This is for
well,
you.
honestly, if you haven't seen that damn movie by now or heard about it, then you are living under
You've
a
already
damn
been
rock.
spoiled. Like
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, you're already spoiled on that. So,
Um,
my apologies for not saying immediately beforehand, but we did bring up the idea first in my defense.
man, but I don't know. Like, it makes me think. Like, I like to I like to read the spoilers. I like to watch video about the spoilers because I guess deep down inside, I kind of like listening to. I like watching the journey, but it's one of those things where I'm so impatient. I am an impatient person. I want to get things done. I want to do it right now, and I unfortunately I just don't have the opportunity to always go to the movies right away. So reading the spoil for me, it's like, okay, well, I read it all, so why should I go to the movies? But good movies, I'll still go. Like Avengers, I went twice. I saw it twice, and I listened to the spoilers and watched spoilers and stuff. Um, but I will say, I think Game of Thrones really impact me, the TV show,
Oh, yeah.
because of certain episodes. Like no one told me anything, and since I haven't, like, I just recently watched it probably about a year ago, and since that craze of putting everything on the internet for that show was over for a couple episodes, because it was years ago,
Hmm.
there was this one episode called The Red Wedding.
Oh, yeah.
I
If
mean,
somebody doesn't know about that, like,
well,
they're not gonna know about it.
I didn't know, and it happened, and I was just like,
What the fuck? Yeah,
so
like the Red Wedding is one of the most critical events in any book I can conceive
uh
right now. I can't think of anything with a bigger, especially mid plot twist, like, and so to speak, it was definitely a twist of the knife. Ah!
oh, oh yeah,
Like
oh, and
nasty.
oh no, I know. So, but I think I like the movie. I like, besides spoiling the movies, I like movies that make me feel like I'm involved, and I think that's
Describe
there's
that.
so.
What do you mean?
All right, so the first Transformers, when that came out, when I left the movie theater, I got into my yellow Ford Focus, and I felt like I was inside a Bumblebee. I just, certain movies, the first Transformer, obviously there's so many now that it's getting ridiculous, but
There's a Bumblebee movie coming.
I just saw that trailer this morning.
I didn't
But
watch
like,
the trailer. I just saw that it existed and said, "Well, I'm moving on."
it's not that bad. It's just, I don't know. Like, they're just running out of ideas. But
Michael Bay needs to let go.
yeah, he does. He needs to do Bad Boys 3 or something. Something.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be nice.
that's actually in the works, isn't it?
I hope so. I don't know. I always hear things that it is, and it's not. I don't know. I love Will Smith. I understand that the past like 6-7 years has been shit for him, but I love Will Smith. I just feel like he needs to be in a comic role, not these serious roles that he's playing, or not
I actually liked that surprise Shyamalan movie starring his son. It was what was that?
Don't tell me.
Anyway, it starred his son and he was in it. It was a
Yeah.
sci-fi flick. Everybody hated it.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Well, Will Smith was in it too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I actually liked that movie.
Uh,
I definitely get the complaints, though. I just thought it was an interesting enough take on the setting. I'll put that way. Uh, that was a good time. You got to turn off your logic circuits to enjoy it, but it was a good time.
that kind of like I think the role that he played in I Am Legend was great, but then after that, it just kind of went downhill for me. So I
I
really
Am
liked for
Legend
him.
was awesome.
I loved.
The dog scene still fucks me up.
Okay, I can see that.
I have issues with that. Having two puppers of my own.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
but
I know. 'Cause
that's how they get you though. They need something to hurt you, to make you feel. You need to go through emotions in a movie for it to be great. Like, you need to feel like you're involved or feel like there's a like if you're watching an investigation movie, like you're watching Inception. And you're just like, okay, well, if I was in this first time, if you watch Inception, you're like, okay, I wouldn't go down there. Don't go down there. Oh, he went down there. I asked him not to go down there. Like that's like in my mind, that's to me that's the type of movies that I like. I like movies that I can kind of grasp onto, that I can get into, not movies like I don't. It's weird. Like I know they're in for entertainment purposes,
Yeah.
but I like to. I don't know. I just like to feel like I'm in the movie. Like I just like to feel like I'm in the movie.
Like you're
Like
participating almost.
yeah, yeah, and that's just I don't know. I think that's what I like.
I
So,
liked Inception because like it engaged me in that specific way,
yeah.
where I was involved. Like I was very much in the plot, trying to go, what's the next step here? What's the next step? I didn't see what's her name killing herself like that,
Oh yeah.
but once that occurred, I had the rough idea of the rest of the plot.
Mhm.
I'm one of those people. I guess the Prestige ending 20 minutes before it actually occurred.
Okay.
20 minutes, and that one was a tough cookie to crack.
Dude, I there's no way. I never guessed that. I was like, are you kidding me? He's cloning himself?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I was like,
that's
dude, it's got to be clones. That's why they're all blind. And the person I was there with just looks over at me like, what the fuck? And then it played out. I was like, told you.
I just that's yeah. But to me lately the movies that have been coming out are very I don't know. You ever feel like um things are getting oversaturated?
Yeah,
Like
superheroes specifically are super saturated right now. I really think DC needs to cut their losses and let Marvel have it,
yeah.
uh, and just back off before they ruin that for everyone. They need to consolidate on their comics properties
Yeah.
because they're doing good work in the comics right now.
Mhm.
They nuked the New 52, which was pretty universally. Uh, I'm not gonna say hated. It wasn't the best timeline DC's ever done, and a lot of people didn't like it. So they boofed it, and I can't remember what this new continuity is called, but this post New 52 DC universe is supposed to be critically awesome. There's a lot of weird and interesting stuff going on. Like there are 3 Jokers. Uh, it's weird. It's awesome, and everybody seems to like it.
Okay. Speaking about that, do you think Heath Ledger dying killed it for DC? Do you think because of Heath Ledger dying in the Dark Knight, the next one obviously wasn't as great, but it was good. It wasn't as great. And then, God forbid, I mean they could have made like 3 or 4 and that could have been the universe right there. But you think because of his death, it kind of closed that door and Marvel just kind of said, "Okay, well, we're going to fucking walk through this door." So do you
I
think that
think Nolan picking up those movies was a bold move. It was a good move for him. He did a lot of good work with it. I don't like what he did with Raj Al Ghul. Um, that's one of my favorite characters in DC. Like, he's up there with Constantine for me and Zatanna.
Constantine's one of my favorites.
So I'm really not fond of what happened with Raj Al Ghul, uh, or his daughter for that matter. So I skipped the first movie entirely.
Okay.
I went straight to Heath Ledger Joker, and it was fucking awesome. That was Joker. But it was at that movie he started getting asked on the interview circuit, like, "Hey, are they trying to do an extended universe? Is this going to be part of that?" And Nolan unanimously, "Hell no, I'm not participating in anything of the kind." And then left to go do Interstellar. which was a good move by him.
Yeah.
Far and away, it was a fantastic move by him.
Well, so imagine if Nolan left, but Heath and Christian Bale and all the actors were like,
Stayed
you know what?
on for the DC.
We want to stay on. We want to, milk this puppy like,
That would have been awesome. We wouldn't have what's his name?
Jared Leto.
Thank you. As the Joker and hating it. He hates that role. Because of the contract Warner Brothers put him in.
I didn't mind his look, and like from the teasing,
No, that didn't bother me at all.
I feel like in the Batman world, there's so many different alternate Jokers out there. So I honestly didn't feel that bad about him.
It wasn't a big deal. It was just a new take on the Joker. It was just Mexican cartel Joker. Not a big deal.
But I just feel like whatever you do, you have to compete against the last person that did it. So Heath Ledger had to be better than Jack Nicholson, and then Jared Leto definitely had to be better than or at least on the par.
Yeah, and he didn't land that.
No, and like you said, his
stick the landing there.
He was only really in that movie Suicide Squad for like not that long.
Well,
so
he got pared down a lot. He was in a lot more of the film in the shoot, but editing nearly cut him out entirely.
Man, I would be pissed about that too.
Yeah, between that and like, hey, you can't go rock climbing kind of contract, like, yeah, no, that's a rock star who's known for fuck you, I do what I want. So that wasn't a good contract move.
That is something else, man. Yeah. But I agree. These the superhero universe is kind of like, well, I feel like once Avengers 4 comes out, I'm okay. I feel like the chapter's closed. I know they have another chapter. They're going to try to open up another book.
Yeah, phase 5.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I feel like these movies that are coming out definitely.
So sorry, dog.
I
am so sorry.
They're definitely oversaturating the Star Wars.
No, I can't even argue that. They're not real Star Wars movies.
No, they're milking the universe. They're milking the name Star Wars.
Yeah, Disney is raking them through the coals to get every little dollop of moisture out of there.
Yeah. The only movie that I'm looking forward to see, besides obviously episode I don't even know how many there are right now. 9, yeah, episode 9, because I want to see how this ends. But the next movie I want to see, I've always wanted to know. I loved Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan, and I just want to see. I want to see that movie. I don't give a shit about Han Solo, what he did before. That's great.
You know what? I'm really curious, and its placement in the timeline. There's a sneaky cameo in there.
I know,
of a fan favorite villain.
I mean, we already talked about spoilers. We might as well say Darth Maul.
God damn it, Rob. I was gonna say spoiler alert first, and then say Darth Maul, but fuck it.
I fucked up.
Oh, not a big deal. So he's got his cybernetic legs.
Yeah.
Which is awesome, and it's really cool to see him in canon again, because he was universally a wicked villain. Everybody loved him, and
oh my god,
it was just he was awesome.
He should have stayed alive in the first one, and then he should have died in maybe at the second one, but he should have at least been in the first. Yeah, the first two he should have been in, and then the third one would have been all about Darth Vader, obviously. But
the rise therein, Palpatine and Vader, yeah,
but Darth Maul. I mean, like, I know that he finally dies. If you watch the cartoons, I think there's these cartoons out. If you watch the cartoons in the storyline, Obi-Wan finally kills Darth Maul again, but this time for real. But later, when Obi-Wan's older, Darth Maul's older, So I would love.
That's post Clone Wars, isn't it?
Yeah. So I would love that to happen, while Luke is growing up.
I thought in canon, Darth Maul was still around here at Last Jedi timeline.
It could be. I mean, the way
If you're saying he died in the cartoon,
he did,
the cartoon's canon, or
yeah,
one of them is, one of them isn't, and then there's a third that is.
there's a I forget what cartoon it is because there's a couple of them that are out. But
Yeah.
one of them, he does finally die again because he tries to get redemption and try to kill Obi-Wan for chopping his legs off, and he fails and he dies. So
That's
I'm
wild.
I'm hoping that if they do an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, which I'm 90% sure they're going to, because they're going to milk every
It's on
goddamn
the
thing.
docket. It's
Um,
actively on the docket, and they've got Ewan
I
McGregor coming back.
I hope Darth Maul is in it, and I hope there's an epic battle between them two. Like
I'm not
I want to
sure
see.
when in the timeline it's supposed to be. I think it's an Uncle Ben origin story,
Okay. Well, I
or
want to
like
see.
somewhere between like him in the Jedi Order, but like prior to picking up Anakin, or it's post baby Annie Darth Vader space. I'm not sure.
I would like to see post. I like to see what he did once the Jedi Order dispersed and they got like destroyed. But then
Yeah,
Yoda
there
was
had to
like,
be other adventures than just go hide out on Tatooine.
yeah, like the Three Musketeers. Like they're not just gonna hide out.
Yeah,
So
other stuff had to happen. He had to lose and give up to go hide on Tatooine.
yeah, but that's what I want to see because I feel like they're just milking. Because after these episodes, episode 9, what are they saying? They're probably gonna do another 3 episodes that has nothing to do with the Skywalkers. Then they're probably gonna do,
They
you
say
know,
that.
yeah, they're already doing a TV show with John Favreau, the guy directed Iron Man, the first one.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I like him as an actor and a director, but
yeah.
it's just so much shit, so much superheroes, so much like I don't know, like they're just running out of ideas. You can just tell, like,
We
well,
haven't tapped heady sci-fi in a
I know,
long time. What
I
I
know.
want to see, and I was excited when iRobot came out. I was like, are we gonna see the rest of Osmo's work play out? But we didn't. It just fizzled. It died, and I hated it because iRobot and the Foundation series are like so in sci-fi literature you've got like Dune, Foundation, and Star Trek. Like those are your biggest three,
That's it.
and Foundation is critically amazing, critically, and it takes place within this huge overarching canon timeline that follows from like now. In fact, the timeline starts with a pebble in the sky, and that was set in the 1950s. This dude steps over a teddy bear, and he's in the future.
Wow.
He has no idea why, and that's where it starts. That causes like a timeline split, and that universe just carries on nearly ad infinitum. There's a fall of Rome and 6 more. It's got everything. It's awesome. Awesome. My bad.
Do you think? Oh, I thought you farted. It's
Uh,
okay.
no, it's the phone.
We're all there. We're all there. Do you think that like people, the reason why they haven't did more of this or show more of this or the movies that are in theater and stuff because the general public, and I hate to say it because I'm one of them, but are just not so. I wouldn't say intelligent, but just they don't grasp it because it's not so black and white. It's very like you gotta layer by layer to try to figure out what
Did you like The
is
Martian?
going on. I love The Martian. I thought it was great.
Then
And
you're
that
ready
was
for heady sci-fi.
okay. I mean,
The,
I like
the, the Martian is like realism sci-fi. If you can handle like Mark Watney going through the math of what he needs to do, why, when, and how in order to not die, even with the Iron Man joke,
yeah.
with that whole slew, if you can make it through all of that movie, you can handle like base philosophical concepts presented in the Foundation series. is the future predictable?
This is a.
Is it?
No, definitely not. This is a.
To a certain certainty, it is.
Well, this is like a journey that I would like to be a part of, but I'm also scared. I'm scared because of my lack of you say that because I like The Martian, I would like this, but then it's like, it is scary because I watched Interstellar and I got it, but then I didn't get it.
The ending was poorly portrayed. A lot like 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
It was a poorly portrayed ending. Like it was difficult for anybody to really grasp what was going through. McConaughey and his character. So it just because it wasn't visually presented well.
Yeah.
Like it was and it wasn't. There wasn't enough like this is what's happened.
Mm-hmm.
In the intermediary, he was just like, oh well, I'm outside of time and I can just pluck these strings. Da 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 da. And that's it. Like, whoa, what? Why'd that happen? Same thing happened at the end of Harry Potter. I was reading the last book, and like Harry's dead, and then he's alive. And I thought a page was missing out of the book. I reread it like 4 times to make sure I didn't miss any information, and I did not. It just wasn't presented well. Same thing happened. And on that note, we've hit 30 minutes. I've got to go get my darling son from Taekwondo.
And I have to sit here and cry. It's like,
don't cry. Go play with your kid, man.
I'm gonna miss you.
I'll be back soon.
But I love you.
We've suddenly broken the 4th wall for no apparent reason.
Okay.
Goodbye, everybody.
See you later.